So welcome back, learners, to the fifth part of our biology 2016. So we are going to start from question 14 because we stopped at question 13. So question 14, you are asked, give three factors that determines amount of energy a human being requires per day. Okay, so you need to be very keen with this question. This is a Form 1 question. Give three factors that determine amount of energy a human being requires in a day. There are several factors that will determine the energy requirement in human being, and I'm going to start by noting them here. The first factor that can determine energy requirement in human being is age. Age, and always ensure that your answer starts with capital letters. Age. The second factor that can determine energy requirement in human beings is occupation. Occupation. The third factor that determines energy requirement in human beings is body size. Body size. We also have lactation, lactating mothers. And then lastly, we also have the sex. So you know that when we talk about age, younger people require more energy than older people because their cells are actively dividing. And when you go to occupation, manual laborers requires more energy as compared to office workers. Body size, the smaller the surface area to volume ratio. I mean, if you compare a very small person, a small person has a very small volume but a larger surface area, so that person requires a lot of energy. Lactating mothers will require a lot of energy because they use some of the food that they take in the formation of the milk. And when you talk about sex, males generally requires more energy as compared to females. And the reason is males are more muscular than females. From there, you go to question 15, where you are asked what is seed dormancy. So seed dormancy is learned in Form 3 in a topic which is called growth and development. That is where you meet germination. So what do you mean by seed dormancy? And this is a topic which is very critical. Now, seed dormancy is a situation in which a seed cannot germinate, even if you provide all the conditions that are necessary for germination to take place. So you'll say, this is a situation in which a seed cannot germinate. Even if all conditions necessary for germination are provided. Even if all conditions necessary for germination are provided. That is what we mean by seed dormancy. And then we come to this other one, where you're now asked, name a growth inhibitor in seeds. Name a growth inhibitor in seeds. There is only one growth inhibitor in seeds. We are talking about a substance that inhibits germination. The growth inhibitor in seeds is called abscisic acid. Abscisic acid. Remember, abscisic acid is a growth inhibitor, but we also have a growth promoter. Growth promoter, a very good example of a growth promoter is auxins. Remember, auxins are the ones that stimulate growth in plants. We also have other hormones. There is a hormone like, for example, let me note here, there is an hormone like florigen. This florigen, it stimulates flowering. And then there is also another hormone which is called ethylene. Ethylene, which stimulates ripening of fruits. Ripening of fruits. Which stimulates ripening of fruits. That is very important. Kindly note that. And then we go to question 16. State one use of the following excretory products in plants. State one use of the following excretory products in plants. Colchicine. There are several uses of colchicine. The first use of colchicine, you can note, is that it is used in treatment of cancer. Treatment of cancer. It can also be used to induce polyploidy. Polyploidy can also be used to induce polyploidy. Polyploidy, this is where you deal with GMOs, whereby you get excessive products. And then we come to this other one, which is called papain. Papain is used as a meat tenderizer. Meat tenderizer. That is in softening of meat, in meat industries. There are also other ones which are very common, something like quinine. You also need to note that quinine was used in treatment of malaria. Treatment of malaria. Then there is also another one which is very common, which is called tannin. Tannin is used in treatment of leather. Treatment of leather. This is mostly in leather industries. Then you go to question 17, where you are now asked, state the name given to the study of cell. The study of cells. The study of cell is called cytology. So you need to know that. Then microorganisms. The study of microorganisms is called microbiology. Microbiology. There are also other studies that you need to know, like study of birds. The study of birds is called ornithology. Ornithology. Then there is also study of fish. These are very complicated sometimes, so you need to know them. It's called ichthyology. Ichthyology. So up to there, I hope you've enjoyed our lessons, and I hope you are going to subscribe. You also share these videos with your other colleagues from other schools, and I hope we are going to learn more as we proceed. I'm going to do part 6 of KCSE 2016. Kindly like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you very much. May God bless you.